Hi everyone, I'm Adella with KSDT Sports, and welcome to our second feature interview. Joining us today is none other than Coach Brett Rostratter,
Hi.
the head coach of UC San Diego men's volleyball team. Hi, Coach.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to have you here. Thank you so much for making the
Of
time.
course.
So, Coach Rostratter is now in his third season, leading the program, having taken the helm on October 7, 2022. And under his leadership, the Tritons are currently ranked number 10 in the AVCA national rankings, holding an impressive 17-9 overall record and a 3-5 mark in Big West Conference play. So I want to start with your coaching philosophy and leadership. So your coaching journey spans from being the director of volleyball operations at Arizona State
Mhm.
to assistant coaching at Pepperdine
Yeah.
under legends like Marv Dunphy.
Yep.
And also in 2024, you led the USA women's volleyball team to a silver medal at the Pan Am Cup in the Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
You also work with the Team USA for 2022 Volleyball Nations League,
Yeah.
which is very impressive. So I'm curious as to how does this diverse experiences shape your coaching philosophy here at UC San Diego, and what sets UC San Diego apart from other colleges or other programs that
Yeah.
you've taken part in?
Yeah. I think the two main pieces within that is like just being around and learning from so many different people, whether it be Marv with Pepperdine and
Mhm.
David Hunt, who's now at Texas, and even people like Karch Karai, who's the greatest volleyball player to ever play the sport. And it just expands my knowledge. It keeps pushing me to be around better players, better people, so that I keep learning. I keep kind of adding new and new perspectives that are going to help me and ultimately will help the guys and prepare us more and more for battle and everything that'll come our way over the course of the season.
Mm.
And then in terms of what's so amazing about UCSD is just like, obviously within our realm, we focus so much on the athletics
Mhm.
and the competition there, but like the academics are second to none,
Mhm.
right? So the fact that we can be somewhere that's elite academically, elite athletically, and then also in a elite, amazing place for us all to live,
Yeah, definitely.
it's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win-win. Yeah.
Sure.
Best of the three worlds.
Yes. Yeah.
Not both of the three worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a ongoing process, a learning process, both for you and also for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like no player knows it all, no coach knows it all. And I
Mm-hmm.
think if I'm showing that, then it's a lot easier for the players to see that too.
Yeah, definitely. And you also having launched the men's volleyball program at Vanguard University. So what insights did you gain from building a team from ground up, and how have you applied those lessons in your current role as the head coach?
Yeah, I mean, that was very different
Mhm.
because there was nothing, there was no history, there was no past. And really the best experience I got there was like, you have to do everything.
Mhm.
So you learn everything and anything and things you never thought would come up. And a lot of things never come up here, thankfully to the support and the staffing that we have within our athletic department.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a lot of trial by fire and just learning and figuring it out and
Yeah,
seeing what
as you
things are
go.
in place or aren't in place.
Mhm.
So ultimately, it's kind of prepared me to like be able to handle any chaos or any situation that
Yeah.
could come up tomorrow or the
Yeah.
next day because we've seen a lot of stuff
Yeah.
through going through all that. So it was amazing experience.
I see. So you were basically the catalyzer in the program, huh?
Yeah. It was had to fix everything, solve
Yeah.
everything, and was the source of all the problems too. So
Definitely, that's amazing. So, as a former libero who captained teams at both Orange Coast College and Concordia Irvine, how does your playing experience influence your approach to coaching, particularly in developing defensive strategies
yeah.
as a defense expert yourself?
Yeah, I think the big piece is like the game gets really simpler the more you can understand, the more you can comprehend, and the more
Mhm.
you can analyze um, a single match or just an opponent over a course of a span of matches. So I think just being able to break it down and simplify it and understanding like, hey, we're not going to dig every ball, we're not going to block every ball, but there's these certain ones we really want to be able to execute on. And those ones are the key ones that end up making big differences
Exactly.
in those tough matches that
Yeah.
we've been on the wrong side of lately. But yeah, so it's kind of just understanding that like we don't have to be perfect in that
Mhm.
phase. We just have to be good in specific areas.
Definitely. And transitioning to the program development and culture here in UC San Diego. So since taking the helm here, what cultural or structural changes have you implemented to elevate the program's competitiveness within the Big West Conference now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just like the players are the secret sauce, the players are the magic, right? And with that, they need to take their leadership within the program. And the fun in that is it evolves with each and every year. You know, this year with our group of 9 seniors, and then next year we'll have a lot less seniors.
Yeah.
So as they grow and evolve, the program grows and evolves. So it's never stagnant. It's never the same because there's new evolutions of leaders coming through each and every year. And I think that also creates an awesome experience of them learning and growing as leaders as well. And so that really self-driven with the players leading as much as possible really excites me and is part of what I enjoy so much about what I get to do.
Yeah, speaking of which, in collegiate volleyball, again, as you said, player turnovers happens quickly because some of them graduating and some of them graduated earlier. It's rather unpredictable in a way. So how do you maintain team cohesion while consistently adapting to this change in team dynamics and personnel changes?
Yeah, we try to keep nice people and good people around our program, and whether it be coaches or the players we're bringing in, we try to avoid turds as much as possible. I mean, no one wants to spend time around those types of people.
Yeah.
So that's one piece. And the second piece is just men's volleyball and boys volleyball. And growing up is just a pretty awesome community. So there's a lot of good people within that. So the talent pool is obviously really rich in Southern California, but also most of them are pretty great people too. So it's pretty hard to mess up, but it's important not to mess that up because you want to keep that sustained and nice and strong.
Absolutely. And this year marks your third season as the head coach for the Tritons, and the team has shown notable progress under your leadership, reaching its highest national ranking since joining the Division One in 2020. Not to mention the major milestones during, including a home win against UCI recently.
Oh, yeah.
And also last season winning a straight set against Hawaii during the senior night too. So, what key factors do you attribute to this development, and how do you plan to again sustain and build upon this momentum?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is the recruiting piece, right? And making sure we're bringing in players that are keeping our level of play elevated, and sustaining that and pairing the recruiting with the development is paramount to us being successful at the college level and being able to recruit not just through the high school ranks, but through junior colleges, like I played at, and then also through the transfer portal as well, and graduate transfers as well, with our first graduate transfer coming in this season. So being able to utilize all those areas and maximize them. And then obviously, like we talked about, is having a culture that people want to be a part of and involved in, allows it to be a little bit easier to entice them to be coming in. And then ultimately, like the guys are just playing really, really high level volleyball, and they keep improving, keep getting better. And it's because they don't get sick of me too much, and they work real hard, and
They won't.
it leads to lots of development, and if we're getting better, we're going to be in pretty good spots.
Yeah, so keeping the environment as comfortable as you can to sustain both like the players and also like their performance in order for them to keep developing and keep growing, right?
Yeah, if the environment's consistent, the coaching's consistent, then they can have consistent process to how they're getting better and what they're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the first graduate students, Bryce Dvorak.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this season the team welcomed him as the starting setter, and he's made a strong impact on court and in the team. So how has his presence influenced the team's dynamic and play style? Because again, he's a setter.
Yeah.
He orchestrated the entire match. So how does this influence the team's dynamic?
Yeah, he's had a ton of experience setting the ball, playing a lot of high level volleyball. So it's come up in a couple different ways, but I think most importantly has been just his competitive nature.
Yeah.
And it shines through when you see him play. Like he wants to win every single point. That's what happens, and unfortunately we don't win 25-0 most matches or any games. So it tends to get us a little frustrated at points, but that competitive nature is something that really has helped kind of push us to be a little bit better and a little bit more confident and really kind of be a little scrappier and fight through some of the adversity that
Mm.
is naturally going to come our way over the course of a season. And then you pair that with, he obviously has a really, really unique serve that creates lots of
Yeah.
problems and stress on the passers and the
Yeah,
opponents.
definitely.
And then you even add in his ability to just set the ball and locate the ball with consistent tempo and location, and that's key for us hitting offensively. And you pair all those things together, and it leads to a pretty good setter that's helped us play some pretty good volleyball this year.
Yeah, I would say he's an all-rounder player, and he has 7 aces playing against San Francis
Yeah.
on earlier January.
Yeah.
Impressive, 7 aces in a single match. That's
Quite a few, yeah.
Quite a few, definitely a career high. And additionally, you've also utilized Sebastian Lara as a libero, not only as an outside
Yep.
hitter in certain matches. So could you share the strategic thinking behind that decision?
Yeah.
Because yes, Sebastian Lara has been very prominent on the court as well as an outside hitter
Yeah.
throughout the season. So could you talk to us about the strategic thinking behind that?
Yeah, Sebastian Lara, Seabass is as we refer to him, but he's a talented player, and he's played last year. He was pretty much exclusively on the court for us as an outside hitter, and this year he's played some on outside, some at libero, and really it's a testament to him as a ball control player and him as a passer. So we felt it sometimes, and that his serve receive and his passing and his defense would really help us out, and so that was ultimately what led to it. And he, testament to him and a credit to him of like being such an awesome teammate and team player that he was able to step into those roles and help us in a lot of tough matches and perform at a really high level.
Definitely. And about personal coaching now, how do you build relationship with players beyond the court?
Yeah, I mean, it's spending time, right? And like with guys especially, it's just being around them, and they're not going to trust you right away. So you have to be consistent with how you treat them, your expectations, your discipline, everything that comes around that, and kind of consistency over time. And then that really leads to them having a lot of trust in me, and then me also having even more trust in them, which is probably more important, and especially given the sport that we're playing, and how free flowing it is. So it takes time, but a lot of it's just kind of letting them be themselves more and more, be comfortable being themselves, learning how to be a slightly more mature version of themselves. Very, very slight sometimes.
Very slight, but yeah, it matters.
But that process and that progress is all really, really important for a lot of these young guys.
Yeah, definitely. And so what has been the most rewarding part of coaching at the collegiate level, especially at UC San Diego?
Yeah, I mean, I think always the most rewarding part is like when you see the players move on, and like now, especially it's getting weird because we have players who are getting married, players who are inviting me to their wedding,
Wow.
in those types of situations. So that's always pretty cool. And just like getting texts and messages from players I've coached at other schools to players I've coached here to players I've never coached here that are alumni and supporters of the program. And I think just the connections that the volleyball community continues to bring, and specifically the UCSD volleyball community continues to bring, is just really humbling, and it's always special. And it comes in so many different ways and so many different aspects that always makes me feel really blessed to get to be around such awesome people at such an amazing school.
Yeah, such a wholesome feeling, I would say.
For sure, very wholesome, yeah.
Like service errors in men's volleyball especially has been quite a talk. Yeah, in the community, I would say. Some kind of like have different feelings about it. Some might argue that there should be a penalty, like basketball does with fouls and stuff like that. So then players wouldn't, like just rip the ball. And but again, service has been a very strong offense. But again, with high risk, also higher rewards. What are your takes about that?
I think especially, I mean, just looking back at the previous match with Northridge, I think the biggest piece wasn't so much the holistic serving. Like overall, we were only about 1% lower than the standard that what we strive for. I think why it felt a little bit more like a knife to the heart was just the timing of some of those situations and some of those service errors. And I think that timing and understanding, that time and score, that awareness of time and place is really, really important, right? Because we have certain standards, certain metrics we're trying to hit throughout the season, throughout the year. But then when we get to a present moment, we have to throw those out and be really
Mhm.
mindful of where we're at,
Yeah.
and what's underneath our feet and what's going on in the match around us, whether it be a team might be struggling in serve receive, or, like we saw a lot of, we knew where the ball was
Yeah.
going back to the opposite every
Mhm.
single set.
Yeah.
And it was more about, hey, can we get a touch? Can we slow that player down?
Mhm.
And even at times it was like, all right, we're not slowing him down, so let's just go for it and see what can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So looking ahead now, what are your short-term and long-term goals for the UCSD men's volleyball program, and how do you plan to achieve them?
Yeah, the short term goal is, we got practice today and we got
Yeah.
to prep to beat Long Beach, and then
Mhm.
obviously beating Long Beach this weekend is a pretty big short
Yeah.
term goal for us that we're excited to take on, and excited to make happen,
Mhm.
especially with it being senior night, and
Yeah.
kind of wanting to really send off our seniors on a high note, getting their last opportunity to play
Mhm.
in Lion Tree Arena. So that's a huge piece of the short term goals, and then it kind of flows naturally right into what's going to be the Big West Conference
Mhm.
tournament. And our goal all year has been to get to Columbus, Ohio, which is where the NCAA Men's Volleyball National Championship is going to be. And for us to do that, we're going to have to win 3 matches out in Hawaii at the Big West Conference tournament. And thankfully, we've had some great motivation from our men's and women's basketball teams pulling that off. So we're excited to keep the UCSD hot streak alive at Big
Yes.
West Conference tournaments out there. So those are kind of the most prominent short-term goals
Mhm.
in front of us that we're really excited about and eager to take on over these
Mhm.
next 2 weeks. And then long-term, right, it's continuing to build a better and better experience for our guys and for our athletes within the gym, outside the gym, in the classroom, and also within the UC San Diego community as well, with all the rest of the student body. Not just being isolated to just the volleyball team or just the athletes, and
Yeah.
really branching out and extending that campus wide as much as
Mhm.
possible. And then volleyball specifically is being at a level where we're competing for national championships on a yearly basis. Because we know only one team's going to win at the end of the year,
Mhm.
but the goal is to always be in the mix. And if
Yeah.
we can go into the season being in the mix and be a super competitive team that's playing at a high level more often than not, it
Mhm.
gives us more and more opportunities to do that.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. One last thing. So, is there anything you want to say to the guys before the big night tomorrow and leading to the Big West Conference at Hawaii?
Yeah, I mean the guys know everything that I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, and especially like before a game, there's
Mhm.
not much other than like, let's go get it,
Mhm.
let's go have some fun. But I think the biggest thing is always just a huge thank you to the seniors um, that have been here, guys who have come in, whether it be transferring in,
Mhm.
or guys who were here as I came in and they were already a part of this. And both are very different experiences for both of them, but the gratitude I have for them just accepting me and trusting me, and believing in our vision that we've been able to create together and want to continue building upon after they're gone as well, is always kind of what's on my heart and on my
Mhm.
mind this time of year. And then going into the conference tournament is, we've played a lot of really high level volleyball, and it's been pretty consistent. Even matches we've lost have been really, really close and really exciting matches, like you
Yeah.
saw last week, and even going back to January with some of our matches we ended up losing. So I think it puts you in a good spot if you've been
Mhm.
playing a lot of high competition volleyball and been maintaining it and been playing pretty consistent, to where
Mhm.
when the pressure gets on, you're gonna go back to what you've been doing mostly. And I think for the most part, we've been doing pretty good through those situations.
Yeah, definitely. This season has been, the guys has been playing really, really well and putting up a good fight against strong teams and winning at that too.
Mm-hmm.
So we really enjoy watching them and following them and look forward to more exciting
Oh
matches
yeah,
in the upcoming game, especially tomorrow night. So we wish the guys the best, obviously. And yeah, cannot wait to go to the game and see how the guys could, put up a fight against the number one Long
yeah,
Beach
number
State.
one Long Beach State, and looking like we're hoping we can sell out the arena and fill it up completely. So we'll
Yes.
need a lot of help from the students.
Yeah. We got that. Don't worry
All
about
right.
that.
Well, I figured you guys had it under control.
All right. That brings us to the end of this interview. Thank you so much, Coach,
Thank
for your
you.
time. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk to you. And we wish you again the best of luck for the guys and also for you in the program. And we cannot wait to see what you have in store and ahead in terms of UCSD men's volleyball. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Tritons.
Go Tritons!